Okay. Apologize for that blip that was there momentarily. For those who were here before, my name is I am Michael on Poetizer. I want to welcome those who are here live, and then I also want to welcome those who are going to be watching this on replay. A few things first. Those who have entered into the raffle drawing for the $20 Cash App, congratulations. I will check that after the podcast. If you have won, I will let you know sometime today or tomorrow. If you have not already Gmailed me when you're watching this, it means that you're too late for this session. So you have to do the one for the 3 to 5 or the 8 to 9 tonight. And for the 3 to 5, you have to Gmail me before 1 p.m. My time. And for the 8 to 10, you have to Gmail me before 6 p.m. Anytime after those times, you don't qualify to be in the contest, just to be fair to anybody. So make sure you do that if you want to get the chance to win $20 for your Cash App. You can only win once, so nobody can actually say, hey, I won all three at $60. No, one per session. So that's that. Just to let you know what I was trying to do, I was trying to adjust my camera before, and I had a hard time. So I just want to let you know that I'm wearing my Ultimate Warrior T-shirt. The main Jim Warrior, of course, is one of my heroes. I might as well tell you that I am what's called a, I guess, conservative, liberal conservative. So, but I'm not, wholly liberal. I do believe in conservative ideals and principles because I'm a spiritualist. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and as such, there's a lot of biblical things that I prefer to believe and engage in. So that's me. We will begin reading poems live promptly at 10 a.m. for this session. Those of you who have joined me, I want to thank you, and be sure to put your poems in the section, the comment section. When you come here, make sure, okay, that you give me an attendance check. Say, hey, I'm here. Make sure you tell me your handle. When you put your title in here for your poems, preceded by an asterisk. Be respectful, and thank you very much. I was going to start this at 9:30. I had a few blips here. Hopefully, at the 3 to 5 and the 8 to 10, I can actually get this right, so I'm not wasting time telling the obvious things I've been doing before. Um, Even if you've been here before, make sure you let me know what your poetizer handle is. I don't like to have to repeat myself. The other thing is, not everybody here speaks English or writes English, so be patient with other poets. Don't be greedy and want to have only your poems read, because we want to make sure that everybody's poems read. If a new person comes in here and say, hey, I had mine in here first, but go ahead and read one of theirs at least, so that they can get the recognition that they deserve. Seems to be a bit of a flicker here somehow. There we go. Okay, I had to take care of that flicker. And just be respectful of your fellow poets. That's all I ask. Um, and we'll all get along. I think that's a little bit better. Just doing some fun adjusting here. So, uh, let you guys know, basically, the ones going to be watching this on replay, not so much the active participants that join. Um, I want you to understand that I'll be getting a new phone. When I get this new phone, I will be able to use my phone in order to do the live streams. And because of that, I'll be able to take this outside instead of in my, shabby apartment. So you won't have to look at so much, you know, uh, apartment stuff. You'll be able to enjoy the outside comforts of, Washington, D.C. or wherever I'm at. So again, when you join, let me know, and we'll get you in there. Something else, please, guys. Those who are watching this on replay, because it's important to somebody here. Yeah, I don't think. Make sure. Okay, I wrote a poem for speaking about women being harassed and treated, being demeaned. Put that, please put that heart. I prefer pink, but any color heart, except for a black heart, because that's disrespectful. But any kind of heart beside your Poetizer handle to say that you stand in solidarity against the mistreatment of women of any type. Please do that. That lets me know and all the other poets know that, hey, we stand in solidarity that women should be treated with respect. That's what that means. If you don't do it, then that's your choice. But I really don't understand why you wouldn't do it, because this is a noble cause. There's no reason not to. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. I was going to say a few other things. I'm just kind of winging it right now, but on Poetizer specifically, guys, just treat everybody with respect. I know that we all, as human beings, we have issues, but let's just try to, come together. Let's not, backbite or, harass or, you know, I was taught when I was younger that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It takes effort on Poetizer in order to actually give somebody a bad comment. You can call it constructive criticism, whatever you want to call it. But if you give them a negative response, you're actually taking that effort because you have to type that in. There's no vocal um, audio voice. You have to type it in or use Google Voice, which still Google Voice is typing it in. So, don't expend energy just to say something mean, nasty, or negative to somebody to make them feel bad. No, why would you do that? There's no point. I don't want to have to say grow up and be mature, but you know, treat. I won't even say this because it's not really right, but I'll say it this way: treat everybody with respect. If you don't know what the word respect is, there's a great invention. It's called Google. It's spelled RESPECT. I'm not trying to be funny because some of us don't speak English, but you put in those 7 letters, and it will say uh, what the word respect means in your preferred language. And so let's just respect each other on Poetizer, and let's get along. Um, and what we will. I took my hat off. My hair, of course, is quite long, so people can see me. For what I am now, I don't have my hat hiding half my face in that like I usually do. It's nice to see you, Temple. Um, so, again, let's just treat everybody with respect. Talk to each other on here. Get to know each other. Don't flirt. Don't insult. Don't gossip. Don't add innuendos while you're here. And let's just try to have a good time. Um, If you have questions for me personally, feel free to ask me. If I can answer in a timely fashion, I will. If I can't, then I'll just ignore it. It's not because I'm ignoring you. I only have 2 hours here from 10 to 12. I might go a little bit less. I might go a little bit more. It depends on who all's here and the engagement. And then I'll end it on my own discretion. Also, I just want to say to all those who will be watching the replay that appreciate your dedications. Make sure if you're watching the replay, you know, do me a favor. I'm not getting any monetary value out of this at all whatsoever. So, like, but most importantly, subscribe. I need subscribers, please. That's why we do YouTube channels, is for subscribers. Um, I'm not the most attractive thing on the face of the planet, but I'm sure I'm not the ugliest. I'm not the elephant man. So, for the very least, you get to look at my face, subscribe, and show your love and my support, or it's your support for what I'm trying to do here with us on Poetizer. There's a couple more like me. Jensen writes. If you don't know him, uh, follow him and get to know him. He's a great writer. And the other one is Life Writer. Life Writer. Okay, so if you don't know Life Writer, get to know Life Writer. Get to know Jensen writes. And we are all trying to bring you this opportunity to get your poems read live. That's what we're trying to do for you guys. And we're not getting paid for this. We're not working for Poetizer. We're working for you specifically. So show us some love. Oh, I was gonna say, with the shirt I'm wearing is like I said, Ultimate Warrior is Jim Warrior. Um, he was a conservative. He passed away a number of years ago, and so I'll be wearing this today. For he was an inspiration for me to be persevering, to be faithful to his own morals, his ethics, and his beliefs, and that's how I feel. Um, Happy Good Friday to you. Just to let you know, I'm a spiritualist, but also a Hebrew Pentecostal. I do not celebrate Easter. That is a pagan holiday. However, a lot of my followers do. So, out of respect for you, I say to you, Happy Good Friday, and I hope that you have a good day today. Spending a little bit of time getting your poems read. I appreciate that. This is a holiday for a lot of you, and so thank you for that. Hope that you all have a good Easter. I will not be doing podcasts probably for at least another week, maybe. Probably not until next Friday. Maybe Wednesday I might drop in for an hour, 2 hours, but probably not until next Friday. So this will be your last chance to get your poems out here for another week. So get in here and get your poems read. I will be doing some item placements probably because I uh, I do get thirsty. I'll be drinking my soda. Uh, for those of you, obviously, who's going to be watching the replay, because it's not going to do anything here now. I think I only got Tempo here, by the way. Tempo has been helping me get my subscribers. Thank you, Tempo. Um, talk a little bit about, since this is supposed to be the day that Christ died, take that for what it's worth, grain of salt. Um, Self sacrifice. Um, Self sacrifice is when you put yourself in a position to where you don't matter more than the person that you're giving yourself to. So you put yourself in the back burner and you give yourself to the other person. Uh, let's do some of that today and through the weekend because we honor Christ for what he did for us. He gave us all. And the only thing he gets back is our love, if that. So sometimes he gets nothing back. Agape love. So let's try to practice some of that during this weekend as human beings. Try to understand that there are those less fortunate than us out there. No matter how bad we think we have it, it can always be worse. So let's just keep that in mind. As you show up once again, let me know that you're here. If I don't see poems that are in my box, I will read my own poems or I would just talk to keep this going. If I don't see people joining, of course, I would just be like, well, I'm just going to end the session and we'll go on to the next section if there is a next section. Um, Thanks again. At 10 o'clock, I'll be starting. Don't forget to follow the other channels that I have on there. They're all reputable channels. One is Jensen and one is Life Writers. Go to their channels, show them some love. I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, other than Temple being here, I'm not sure if he's still here. It doesn't look like there's anybody here. We're going to start at 10 o'clock. So I will begin reading my poems. When you do come, you need to let me know. Put your hand up, say, hey, I'm here. Put your poem in there. Let me know that you're here. If not, I will start to read some of my poems. I like to read my collaborations with certain poets and my own little messages that I have. If I run out of things to read or say, I'll probably just end the session if nobody shows up. This, again, it's not for me. This is for you. As long as you feel that it's something that edifies you and entertains you, I'll keep doing these. If not, we will stop. And there's no point in me wasting my time or yours. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read one of my poems. Okay. This one is called Bound of Music. The Bound of Music. It's a collaboration with me and a poet from Poetizer called Sea Urchin. Great, great poet and very gifted and talented. Music fills my heart with glee. Music is like an old tree. Music is never far from me. It's right in front of us, see. Everywhere I turn, I hear a beautiful melody. For you, I yearn longer and longer. Hand in hand, we dance stronger. Her dazzling eyes call this soul to wonder. Taking in this rhythm, I can go no further. She means everything to me. A spinning whirlpool of colors and doors. Deep, rich melodies coming out my pores. She touches me softly, vibrating my core, gyrating on thigh, begging for more. The wonder of wonders, my spirit plunders. A purposeful stutter. Ebony's soft skin, creamy as butter. Goosebumps hairs standing upward, eyes fluttering just like a bird. Living being listening, not heard. Bodies glistening as we finish this work. Again, that was by me and a poet called Sea Urchin. If you don't know who Sea Urchin is, I suggest that you learn because Sea Urchin is a great poet. Good morning, Damon T. Hallen, and that's funny. That's from Good Morning to People from a movie called Holding Man with Eddie Murphy. Where is my royalty here? I am doing product placement. I'm doing a movie placement. Pay me. Really, really good movie. Have you seen a movie? Well, then you're at a loss, and I don't understand why. Again, if you're here, you can put in your poems, and I'm gonna read them. If you're the only one here, then you're lucky. I get to read all your poems. Until you got one in there, I'm going to go and read me another poem real quick before you can say Hippie Die Hard. Got another one called The Prophets. This is a short little poem. For we were all each called crazies. No one ever believed in our warning. And now look, they are all dead. Will you? And that's a poem that I wrote, I believe it was this morning when I was at work, called The Prophets. So beware. When somebody predicts the future, you don't know if it's true or not. You can take it with a grain of salt, but take it, understand, try to grasp what they're trying to say and see if there's any truth to it. And if it is, be forewarned. So we have here Shanks for Me by Damien T. Hallen. Again, for those of you who are going to be watching the replay, you might not have much time for the 3 to 5, but for the 8 to 10, you need to go to my Gmail and tell me that you're going to participate in one of these podcasts, and then get your poem read in the podcast, and then you will qualify to win $20 in Cash App cash. And it's only in Cash App cash. It's not PayPal or Blair or Bear, or whatever it is you want to call it. If you can't accept Cash App, then you can't accept the reward, and it'll pass on to somebody else who can. And that's lesson learned, lesson paid. So we'll go to Shanks for Me by Damien T. Hallen. There's a story behind this, but I'll tell you the story after I read the poem. Funny as it is. It's by Damien T. Hallen. Shanks for Me. I missed them on a flight some nights. Yet from them I got something for taste. They sizzled indeed in a fleeting heat. But here I snitched or filched them cased. I hoodwinked out my mouth. Here stood aught I would see. Happy if you're around, they shunned those nights. Yes, they made Shanks for Me. I missed them on a plight some nights. So from them I get nothing for smell. They redeem in a brazen blaze, though then I cleave but snatch them well. I pound them round by slaw and shaw. I see some pea and onion brie. They lose their savor in those nights. Yes, they made Shanks for Me. It's Timmy T. Hallen. The brief story behind that, because there's a lot of story behind that, is that Thanks to You was the original poem, and there was a convergence from Thanks to You to Shanks for Me. And we came up with this little ditty. It's funny, but far beyond what the original intent was. With thanks for you. So that's that's that. Uh, going to go back. Uh, I'll say another poem. I'm not going to wait. I want no dry spells there. I'll read another one poems real quick. While I guess the sole member here just this is what it says. Where can my email was offered already on the Poetizer. So if you're a follower of mine, just no reason why you don't know my email. It's not that I'm getting upset. It's just either it's ignorance or it's disrespectful to not know what my email was, and then I have to put it in here. Be a follower of mine. Treat me with respect, the same respect I treat all of you. I follow you. I like your poems. I comment. You know, when you post something, I read it. I click on it, and then I comment. I ask that you give me the same respect. When I put something on there, read it. If you can't read English, fine. Let me know. I can't read English. I can read, German, Swiss, Czech, and then I'll put it in your language. I'll put it in Latin. I'll put it in Greek. I'll put it in Big Latin. But you gotta let me know what language. Respect for me. I'm gonna put it on here. It's on my channel. Hi, Aaron. So this is an email for 3 to 5 and for 8 to 10. In order to qualify for the $20 Cash App raffle, you will need to go there to my Gmail and say, "Hey, I'm going to be in such and such a session. Come to the session. I will read one of your poems, and then that will qualify you to be in the raffle drawing." Who couldn't use $20, especially if you're in a so-called third world country? $20, you can buy what? Small house, cabin, something. I don't know. So $20 is $20. There's nothing to sneeze at. You can go and buy yourself a Big Mac meal and have yourself a large, well, probably a small fry and a smaller drink nowadays because inflation. But you can get yourself $20 at my expense. So put your poems in here. I will read them in order. Be mindful of the other people who join. You might have a poem ahead of somebody else. If we're low on time, I might end up going to theirs. So yes, hi Aaron, it's nice to see you. Please put a poem in there, and I will read for you. We're going to go to Dan with them, and oh my goodness. Now I did put. Okay, great. Make sure, of course, that you put an asterisk or star in front of your name. In front of your poem, but that's okay. Um, I'm going to read Dan with them. There's no foul language or anything, but woo, a powerful poem. So let's go to that real quick. Be mindful that there are young adults in this group too. So if you come here live, make sure I want you to chat and get to know each other, of course. But please, no flirting, no harassment. Everybody with respect, so that you don't offend um, my young adult followers. I will end up having to boot you, and then, well, that would be it. All right. Damn with them from Damien T. Hallen. They passed her on a walk some nights, yet from her they took something so cheap. She shuddered upon those spastic heights, but hence they stopped to help her deep. They admitted with their bite, her life shall become ever dim, never befriended. True, she lives this night. No, she died damned with them. They pass her on a walk some nights, thence from her they take nothing to keep. She struggles with these spastic hypes, thus they all choose to leave her heap. They take her down with hate and malice, they bring her bane by her whim. She gains her solace indeed that night. No, she dies, damned with them. There is a greater story to this, but just to tell you briefly, just like Shanks, for me, this came from thanks to you and we conglomerate. Well, actually, I had did the lion's share of that poem, and now I'm kind of sorry because I had to read that live, but it is what it is. I rushed through that obviously because it's a hard read. If you do like that poem, and God forbid if you do, you can follow Damon T. Hallen on Poetizer, and you can read it at your leisure, as slowly and as in depth as you choose to do. Just please don't share with me that experience because it's a hard read. Erin Marie, we're going to read her poem called Mary Jane's Flower. Make sure when you put your poems in here that you give the correct spelling, the correct capitalization, and so forth, the correct punctuation, so that when I put them in here, Poetizer demands being exact. It's very nice of you, Erin Marie. Believe me, I did not have a fun time reading that. It's a hard read. Mary Jane's Flower. And thank you everybody who's here live, and thank you for those who are going to be watching the replay. My name is I am Michael. That is Michael with the A capitalized. It symbolizes that I'm trying to be a messenger for God. I'm trying to do the right thing. I am a man, but I'm a man of God. And as such, I try not to do the wrong thing. But I make mistakes. Mary Jane's Flower by Erin Marie, one of my followers and a terrific poet. If you don't know her, get to know her, please. The candy-coated anticipation shapes the rhythms as my heart contends with the fire in my bloodstream. My breathing is labored as a dazzling flower materializes before me and becomes exquisite. In my hand, I manipulate such wizardry into a cylindrical conduit of peace, love, and magical bliss. As it rushes into sweet lucidity, nefarious voices, and malevolent thoughts in forms of bubbles that crowd, pop, and grow again inside my exhausted brain. Slowly, dramatically, my world, a spinning, self destructive void of anxious fear and self loathing, disappears. In its place, clarity fuses with focus and floods any amount of the chaos that feeds on damaged pieces of my brain, detrimental and unfixed. Any amount of emotional derangement is deleted, erased by the smoke that weaves and curls dreamily to the big sky above me. My muscles ease from the tension, from the pain, from the weight of the horrid emotions caused by aching sorrow and such incapacitating agony. My melancholia is lifted, fades and folds into requisites. A beautiful smile graces my sleepy face, graces my sorrowful eyes. It bestows on me a celestial light that begins to glow from deep down within. It radiates through every part of my human form. Valhalla's essence explodes through my fingertips. I touch my magic wand to the most beautiful parchment, and powerful grand illusions charm those who resonate with the beauty of my craft. This flower leads me into the dreamy where I contemplate the metamorphosis of life, attempting to understand the concept of why. I look up and watch sporadic clouds as they float up in the air, morphing into shapes in my imagination. My fated storm has passed me by, and the victor of the people loathes everything of what I am. But I still rise like a phoenix from the ashes of my flower as it burns into my soul. Another smile full of pride, I have burned my feet on the most fiery of coals, and I can keep on walking like a goddess in the sunshine. There is an abundance of gratitude at the core of who I am. The flavor of the burning flower reveals its essence. And you are Mary Jane's flower. In the rooms of my heart, kingdoms and empires crumble to the ground as we make the sweetest of love. Your kiss calms my anxiety, and you become all that I envision around me. Your touch melts my being into a soluble powder, quenching the thirst that emanates from your skin, and I slip through your fingers just until you pick me up again. Slumber seeks my eyes. I lay my head upon your shoulder. You are Mary Jane's flower and my tree of life. By Erin Marie Miller. That's a very beautiful poem, Erin. You can see why I follow you no matter what you write, whenever you write. Hello, Jason. Should you enter your poem? You're very welcome, Erin Marie. Temple, life. Let me see if I can find life. Uh, so my brother's here, my nephew's here. That's very nice. And there are young adults here, so everybody who's here live, make sure you treat everybody here with respect and no flirting, no harassment, no gossip, no innuendos. Let's be civil. Okay, this is by Temple. He helped me get some of the subscribers that I currently have here in order to bring this to you live. So if you haven't followed him on Poetizer, follow him on Poetizer, and thank him from you, me, to him for helping me bring this to you live at no expense to you. Live by Temple. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Thank you, Temple. That was really nice. Again, just you guys want to know, I'm wearing my Ultimate Warrior shirt. The reason why is because I respect what the man believed in. He was a staunch conservative. Of course, I'm a conservative liberal. I'm not staunchly anything, really, to be honest with you. I, I, I have a conservative leaning, but I believe in absolute and total freedom when it comes to choosing what you want to do and the choices that you make in your own life. I do use the phrase quite often, always believe. That is not mine. That was coined by the Ultimate Warrior, the late Jim Warrior, and it's a belief that I believe in. So I'm giving him honor today, all day, as I read, to let you guys know where that came from and why I say it. You can Google him. If you're a WWE fan, you will already know who he is. He's the only one who had cleanly defeated Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, at WrestleMania 6. He was the first one to beat him and become uh, a two title holder at the same time, the Intercontinental title and the World Heavyweight Championship. But I'm digressing here. Let's go to a new poem here. I see the next poem is Lamentation by Erin Marie. There's a lot of lamentations. Let's see if we can find the right one here. If not, I'll just put your name in, Aaron, which it looks like I have to do. So we'll go by author name. Here we go. This is called Lamentation by Aaron Marie. Hurtful enmity with injurious expressions is painstaking and pardoned only by grief. Insipid pity and provoking impressions are not excused but hardened without relief. How does one contend with insoluble sorrow while maintaining faith and hope? I do not know. Still, I can't pretend my heart will mend by morrow, or even that I will cope were he to go. Forlorn entreaty, a mournful lamentation, or a desperate prayer, alas, the day. Great deity is this fated damnation. Will this vile betrayer receive his way? Grant me the vigor to honor the unaltered. Please give me serenity to keep me sane. Fill me with rigor when my courage has faltered. Let ill-mannered enmity to find itself slain, and then to his side may he choose to fasten me with such endearing regard and gentle face. I won't have to hide, for I'll be able to see the violent battles too hard to try and replace. This is by Erin Marie Miller. Another very awesome, uh, thought-provoking, inspiring, and encouraging poem. You see why that I quickly followed her in like practically every one of her poems since I followed her. You're welcome. Uh, Thanks to you. By Damien T. Allen. We'll read that one next here. Again, I'm tickled pink that people have joined me in this podcast. I don't know who else is going to come. Uh, I thank the Lord that we have this opportunity to get this forum out for you guys to get your poems read worldwide. Go by author here. I love Poetizer just as much as I like to, pass away from a sneezing fit. Since I prefer not to pass away from a sneezing fit, you can obviously tell that I do not like the way that Poetizer functions because, well, it's a broken site. That being said, I like the people that are on there, so I stay there. Anyway, I digress. This author, Damon T. Allen, has so many good poems here. I could probably spend all 3 sessions just reading his poems, but we're not going to do that. So, Thanks to You by Damon T. Allen. You saw him by the street one day, but to him you had nothing to say. He shivered from the biting cold, yet there you watched and left him lay. You believed in your heart there was naught you could do. True, all alone he dies that day. Yes, this was thanks to you. You see him by the street one day, though to him you have something to say. He shivers from the biting cold, so this you stay and help him pray. You lift him up with hope and joy. You hand him food and blankets too. You hand him, he found our Savior ever this day. Yes, that is thanks to You by Damian T. Allen. Now, there's a story, just to tell you briefly, that's part of his collection. He has this in a book. I don't have it at the time. By the way, check your description of this podcast. Everything is for sale in Amazon or the like. It's there. You simply click on it if you want it, if you like it. Purchase it. If not, well, at least you looked at it to respect the purchasers. Please do not offer anything in the comment section to be sold. If you do and I see it, there's the boot, and that'll be the end of it. If you want something advertised, please let me know before I go live, and I will put it in the description box. And those who look at the description will say, "Hey, wow, this looks interesting," and I'll take a look at it. Um, Thanks to You also is offered to you in a live version. It's not sung currently, but there's music to it. There's lyrics to it, and there's a video on this very channel. So take a look at that if you want to see it. Uh, let's see what we got here. Yes. Okay. Mhm. Yes, I realize that, and I hope that you do realize it because I'm laying it on pretty thick. That, of course, is not mine. It's from Tommy Boy. If you haven't seen the movie with Chris Farley, I can only say one thing to you. What's the matter with you? Go watch it. Not now. Don't leave. But after the podcast, go watch it. I don't see any poems here. I'm going to read one of mine real quick. No dry spells. No dry spells. Let's see what we got here. Here's one I wrote today. It's pretty pointed. It's called Live for Today, for tomorrow may never come at all. That's not mine. It was actually said by a Star Trek character named Trelane, Squire of Gothis. He said that to Kirk and his crew. Said, "Live for today, for tomorrow may never come at all." How arrogant are we as a species? Consider all the many forms of disease, the powerful and destructive enemies that frightens us down to our own knees. We walk and we limp through our lives, looking and searching for we know not what, gallivanting about with husbands and wives, narcissistic and egotistical the moment we're cut. Never realizing to live itself is a gift, never a promise pact of binding contract. Instead, an opportunity that could always be lived whenever God deems it is time to act. Foolish man, ignorant woman, unlearned child, putting it mild. Isn't it about time that we all wake up from this crazed slumber we all yet snore? Our days tick by as our age and time sup and gobbles us up right down to our core. And then that's eaten as well. But we just say, oh well, hell. And that's why we will all soon perish. But for God's gift, we would not cherish. The end of our species will soon dawn, and life as we know it will all be gone. These words are yes, come down from heaven, not by one voice, but rather by all seven. The angels of wrath and other destruction prophesied by John in the book Revelation. See, God's word, it just cannot ever lie. For his judgment, Christ never shy. But I will strike out and tell you all this. There is a chance a generation will miss. Change your ways, extend your days, just as Nineveh did repent. Honor these words, well sent, and another generation will live, and life will go on just as before. This message from God I do give, his work, your lives, he still adores. Amen. I am Michael. That again is a prophecy. It may or may not happen depending on the choices that we as a species makes in this world. And believe me, it takes only a small group to change God's mind. Sodom and Gomorrah could have been saved by a mere 5 people, and not even 5 people were sanctified. In fact, one could postulate nobody was sanctified because of what happened after Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed and Lot and his friend were saved, and they weren't even holy. But read your Bible, find out about that story. It's a great story. Uh, Aaron Marie, Ropes of Sorrow. Again, those of you who know me know I'm a very pointed individual. I usually get my things out without too much sugar and a lot of salt, quite a bit of pepper. It's just my character. I can't help it. Or I could, but I choose not to. Ropes of Sorrow by Aaron Marie. Waiting for an answer, it will change my life. Heart racing, shallow breathing, anxiety. On the verge of tears, and my answer is silence. An empty, painful absence of precious sound with heavy ropes of silence, with heavy ropes of sorrow. Excuse me. I am tightly bound and I am slipping, ripping, tearing at the seams, pieces breaking away into the restless wind, now separating, scattering, fluttering away as if I were made of neon butterflies. Within the blackest of night, is that hope? Messengers of Odin say I'll be all right. That's really neat, by the way. Just to let you know, I love uh, Viking, the Vulgate. Big word for you. Look that up on Google to find out what Vulgate means. I very much love the idea of Valhalla because those of you who know what I know with my knowledge knows that I believe that heaven is a fighting force, but we don't want to have that discussion here. There's no time. But I definitely enjoyed reading that particular poem because of the mention of Odin. Uh, okay. Yeah, big word, big word. Um, David T. Holland, your sarcasm knows no ending. And thank you. I don't see any poems listed. I don't know why, but that is what it is. Let's see what we got here real quick. Thanks again for everybody joining me. Every once in a while, I might take a drink of my soda. In fact, I'm going to take a drink right now. And once again, Dr. Pepper, give me my royalty. This is product placement worldwide. No, this is not going to be a Morgan Freeman moment, Damien. I'm not going to get splashed by my soda. Although, funny story for you guys. I was at work last night. I had set my bag of goodies, my drinks and everything, down on the floor next to my booth. And I and of course it got warm. I reached down to pick up my soda and I set it on the booth and I got thirsty and I wasn't thinking because I knew my paperwork. I picked it up, I opened it up, wasn't watching, and well, I got a snout full of soda, root beer soda. So that's why I'm wiping my nose. I still smell root beer that I can't get out of my olfactory. Look that up, Google that up. Olfactories, and well, it's not a very pleasurable experience. Lesson learned, and well, that's it. um, Man called Horse. This is a collaboration with Zeke El Magnifico. The El Magnifico is something I added. His name is Zeke. If you don't know Zeke, Zekie, follow him please on Poetizer. Amazing poet. He has a wry sense of humor. You know, there are those days when you just know that trouble is brewing in the air out there. This fellow whip with a golden clip and sidewinders hanging off his drawers. I twitched real quick, hand to my quip. I just knew there was something about this dude not quite white. When trouble doesn't look for you, you have to find it. I saw him looking at me with this eagle like eye. I stood up from my chair and walked over to him. Without thinking, I slapped him. It was like a twilight. That smooth, hard slap on his face, I saw him ululate like a dog. And then an exchange of fists occurred. Spitting bastard struck my cord, should gun him down like Surrey's fjord. But a gentleman am I come nigh. I'll offer him a duel, this fool. 'Cause when he turns his back right quick, I'll shoot his hide in the back real slick. Then piss the streak right down his spine while drinking beer and spilling wine. Punches engulfed the air, spits poured into beers. He didn't know that am a shit am that guy. I gave him 5 punches and bam! He fell hard on the floor. I spit on his sick freaking face. I took a beer and poured it happily on his shitting face. Down in the beer, lose next turn. Guess I should have thought the turnaround. Instead, I get burned. Tired of fighting, just crawl like a worm. Shimmy out of the tavern like a germ and squirm. Goodbye. Again, that was a collaboration with Zeke. We had a lot of fun. There's a movie called For a Few Dollars More with Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef. If you have not seen that movie, this is loosely based upon a scene. My brother, of course, knows what I'm talking about with the script of a match on the side of a guy's neck, the hunchback. Very good movie. You should watch it and enjoy. What do we got here? Remarkable Marks. Remarkable Mark by Demi T. Hallen. And if I miss one of your poems, put it in there again or speak up and say, hey, you looked over my poem. What? Are you blind? Is that what you're saying? Am I blind? That's not mine, of course. That's from The Shawshank Redemption. If you haven't seen that movie, it's the #1 movie on IMDb, and I've got to ask you the same question. What's the matter with you? Damien T. Hallen. Now, let me explain to you why I keep saying Damien T. Hallen. The way I'm saying it is from a movie called My Cousin Vinny. The judge, Fred Gwynn, often said things in that manner. So, it's one of my favorite movies. Remarkable Marks. I don't have this one live version, so this is just a read. Remarkable Mark by Damien T. Hallen. Mark made remarks about marks, marked upon unremarkable walls, which Mark felt were very remarkably made, with remarkable markings indeed, which were indeed very remarkable remarks about marks marked remarkably with markings upon unremarkable walls. Fun, fun, fun. Again, that's by Damien T. Hallen. There's a story behind that, and the story is thus. I offered him a crypto quote, and the crypto quote, I believe, word for word, was thus. If you don't know what a crypto quote is, by the way, I don't have time to explain it to you, Google it. It's Wild Willie wants what Wild Willie wants when Wild Willie wants what Wild Willie wants. Needless to say, it led to that poem that you just heard. I didn't stick him with my crypto quip, although it took him a time to do it, but he definitely stuck me on his because, unlike him, I was so willing to give up and say, I can't do it. So that's where that came from. And you're welcome, brother, because if it wasn't for me giving the inspiration, we would not have been reading that poem today live around the world. So that's that. Aaron Marie, by my heart's first rhyme. By the way, Aaron, to speak to you specifically, um, I don't get to tell you this except for just in my comments. I really do respect you as a poet. You are awesome. And I know that I have a lot. I have over 300 poems. Don't get me wrong, and I have 700 plus poems on my other account. So I have over 1,000 poems in just under 5 months. I really respect you as a poet. I think you're really, really good. And someday, if you're not already, I expect for you to become famous. Now, not being said any further, by my heart's first rhyme. Let's get this. Here we go. Again, this is by Erin Marie, fantastic poet. By my heart's first rhyme. I want to write my heart for you. I know not what to say. You came to me out of the blue and just the other day. This doesn't happen all the time. I meet someone I know only by my heart's first rhyme. You surface from below, we may have only met a fling, but I've known you for long. For when my heart began to sing, you were its forthright song. Then, all through my youthful life, I've wondered where you've been. And missing you cuts like a knife. I feel we are akin. I've spent these days thinking of you, your voice, your face, your eyes, and hoping that we're tried and true, and that you realize that all that stands before you, love, is all I'll ever be. For you have never known true love until you first met me. Anne Marie Muller, again, no surprise there. Another really beautiful poem, very touching and thoughtful, is what I had said on that poem, and I still agree. How and when did you all start writing? Okay, that's between you guys. Of course, Damien. Of course, there's sarcasm. Ashley, make sure when you join, because I don't remember these names, you put your handle here and let me know your Facebook, because I let you guys know, and some of you do know, some of you don't. I suffer from at times severe schizophrenia. Yes, that's right. I answer the voices. So I don't remember your names from last time. So put your names in here so I know your handles, and then give me your poems. I would appreciate that so I can read your poems. Cracks filled with gold. Good. And then, of course, give me your poems so I can read your poems. Uh, and yes, Damien, you should be, because she's a fantastic poet. Let's do another one of my poems real quick while I wait for you guys to put yours down in there. Again, I appreciate everybody who's here. You are legitimate phenomenons. That, of course, is not mine. That is from Ghostbusters Part 1. Venkman said that to a prospective date of his that he took out later tonight after an experiment for the $5 of which he retained from services that were rendered to a college student who decided to say, you can keep the $5 because he got tired of spitting out his gum from an electric shock. Anyway, it's a movie. If you haven't seen Ghostbusters from 1985, once again, I got to ask you the question, what's the matter with you? Watch it today. This is Faith of a Mustard Seed. This is a collaboration with Irene from Poetizer. phenomenal poet. If you don't know her, get to know her and follow. When I lift up my eyes unto the Lord, I see my help comes on one accord. My faith stays sure, stiff as a board. Resolve stands fast as concrete poured. All doesn't seem okay, but faith keeps me going. My hope and trust He is. With failures and fears, disappointments, and all these, yet no swaying faith. That was a collaboration with Irene that we wrote together recently. I hope that you enjoyed. Let's see what poems we have here. All right. This is just funny. I've heard of the word, and I'm not even going to say it because I'm not going to embarrass myself worldwide. Big word there, by the way, Damien. Big word. And I think that's actually a movie called too. Big word, big word. We'll figure it out during the course of the reading here. Put your poems down in there, please, and I will read your poems. If not, I will continue to read my works so we have no awkward pauses. Okay, this next one is called In the Land Called Neok in Pilf. And for those who want to know why it's called Neok in Pilf, it's because it's flip and coin spelled backwards. So for those of you who have read it and didn't understand the meaning of the name, well, it's just because you didn't, take the time to look at it in the mirror and see that it spells flip and coin backwards. This is a collaboration with JD Noble. If you haven't followed him, get to know him and follow him. He's very unusual. And we call ourselves the New Brothers Grimm, and that's another story in itself. There once was a young boy named Tom Pickensdorf. He lived with his mom over on Cherry Tree Lane with a little schnauzer named Dribbles. On one fine sunny day, this Tom Pickensdorf took a stroll down the lane and skipped across a smooth, shiny farthing. But this was no ordinary farthing, for as Tom Pickensdorf would soon find out, it was a magical coin that could take him as far as his mind could imagine. Tom didn't initially notice the coin. He just walked down the street, an innocent boy, until he noticed a few things had changed. That made Tom question his sanity. His house was gone, Dribbles was lost, he had no idea where he now was. In a new place, a fantasy world where pets walked like people, people flew like birds. Tom was rather curious, but curiosity can lead to doubt, and doubt can lead to problems. Yea, there is a reason curiosity killed the cat. And speaking of cat, hi, my name is Mouser, and I'm your narrator for the remainder of this story. Boy, am I sure hungry. Anyway, back to our tale. So, Tom found it quite curious how the animals and even the trees, please, were able to speak as he did. Hello, Tom, said a bat. Howdy, hey, squeaked a rat. Hello, Tom, the baker's son, hooed a screech owl. Hello there, said a horse named Mr. Ed. Ed? And Tom was absolutely flabbergasted and mystified. Look it up. For he had never seen such a frightful sight. But he figured maybe this wasn't such a bad thing after all. Maybe this is what he'd wanted always, since he was yay tall. So Tom chatted to those animals and chatted to those trees. He played cards with the badgers and the beetles and the fleas. He picked lots of flowers with the friendly bumblebees and helped them regrow by planting loads of seeds. Day turned to night, and night turned to day. Many days passed with the boy's life that way. Seasons changed from seasons: spring, summer, autumn, snow, until he started noticing things were not so gold. It was getting cold. Creatures seemed less friendly. He was getting old, and he missed dribbles dreadfully. I just want to go home, he cried, and he sighed. He tripped on his laces, his shoes left untied. What was he to do? See, he could not see through that the reason he was there was nowhere right there to share. So he pondered in the heat, meandered in the street, sledded in the sleet, and shimmied in the peat. Suddenly, it occurred to him at last that since his coin discovery, many moons had passed, and never once gave he a passing glance at his one and only romance. So he took it out of his pocket, gentle as a locket, and flipped it as a sprocket. And would you believe? Something magical began anew, all over again. Seasons changed from seasons, night became day, a swirling pool of memories that he had to face. Thoughts and feelings and stories flooding right back as the world began to fade to black. Tom blinked once or twice, looking around. There, right beside him, was the farthing on the ground. He heard cars on the road, people walking by. He never knew he'd missed this sound. And he ran to his house and he marveled at the street. He smelled all the roses and was very excited to meet his dog, Dribbles. And I suppose his mom, too. Sometimes old things are better than new. That much is true. That was fun to collaborate with JD Normal, by the way. He has his own version, by the way, on Poetizer. So if you want to see that R-rated version, because of who J Noble is, follow him on Poetizer. You can see the version of which I would not be willing to read on here because, well, I have PG-13. Let's see what we have here. Wow, a lot of comments here. I love it. My Heart's First Rhyme. Yes, the Shawshank Redemption. Should we put a poem here that you have a star by your poem? Okay. Whimpers. I'm going to do Whimpers and then I'm going to do A Poet's Night. I don't think that I've read Whimpers. Might have clicked on it, but I don't remember reading Whimpers. So this might be a new experience for me as well. By the way, that's a hilarious title, Damien. Sounds like an Irvingism. We'll leave that alone. Okay. By the way, that's not mine. That's an Ultimate Warrior there. Damien will understand exactly where that came from. And I honor Jim Warrior by doing what I just did with the laugh. Whimpers by Damien T. Hallen. As you plead the blood and body electric, yet now I know ever what indeed I shall pick. When delight is gone and nothing is left there to lick, for you indeed I will turn off all the lights. Click. Okay, I did read that before. I forgot until just now. The Damien T. Hallen, that's hilarious, by the way. Notice, of course, I turned all the lights off in my apartment because the more light is in this apartment, the more you can see just how depressed I truly am to live in my little hovel. So the lights are out, so all you get to see is, ugly old me. And that's bad enough. So, let's see. Cracks full of gold, filled with gold, a poet's night. So happy to be here today doing this for you guys. You can see that when I say that I love you guys, that I'm actually telling the truth. It's a rare thing to find in this day and age. It's not mine, it's from Family Matters. If you don't know this series, you should watch it. Plugging everything today. One of these times I'm probably going to plug something from Seinfeld, my favorite show, by the way. A Poet's Night by Cracks Filled with Gold. The calendar shown 4 months in the past. Empty soda bottles on the coffee table from the week of last. She sits strumming the silver-plated pages of the book in which her ink flows, contemplating the words in which her mind doth bestow. Music flowing through her ears, so in tune with each rhyme, every word strewn together, they're intricately entwined. Wrapped in the warm comfort that poetry brings, she lays down her head to rest and drifts peacefully off to sleep. That is by Cracks Filled with Gold. Let me read that last line again. I really flipped that up. She lays down her head to rest and drifts peacefully off to sleep. Very nice poem there. Cracks Filled with Gold. Let me see what it said there. Of course. What a blissfully written poem. This is really nice to read, especially at night. And yes, I read that at night when I was at work. It's a nice poem. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. Let's see. Spiritual Divination. I'm going to love this one. By Erin Marie. Thanks again for you guys being here. You are the sunshine of my life. That's my song. And obviously I can't sing, but I like that song. Spiritual Divination. Let's see. By Erin Marie, Spiritual Divination. Our spirits cease to be asleep. Journeys unfolding lead ahead. Two parallels in our upkeep that we cannot let go unfed. Creations of a new world view awaken us to human life and nature in a different hue, relieving us from human strife. A field of sacred energy flowing through all things we know can be projected easily within the seeds that we must sow. Influencing the planet's realm and systems that weren't visible in beauty now can be overwhelmed the coincidence of symbol. When humans find this greater source, there is no more insecurity and weakness, no longer a force manipulating so freely. A violence ends when we connect with all traditions called divine love will bring light and intersect with measures present will align. The more connection that we gain will lead us on a brighter path, relieving us of all the pain, the bitterness of quiet wrath. And once we profit from this link, we can contribute to the earth. These prophets will never sink, but they were there at time of birth. Our mission bleeds the mystic clout and guides us to our destiny. We know then that it's all about and find ourselves finally free. Thank you, Erin Marie Miller. Wow, that was before. No, you all just posted that today. You just posted it. That's why I was like, I don't know of any poem that I haven't liked and commented on. Well, that's the first. You are my density. I mean, you are my destiny. It's not mine. It's from Back to the Future with Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. If you haven't seen the movie, make sure you watch it. Let's see. DMET Hallen, Exodus 32:22, QJV. Let's see what we got here. By the way, I'll tell you guys a little something once I get this. Exodus 32. 22. All right. While this is loading up, just to tell you my miracle juice keeping me awake now after I just got done working is another product placement. I want my word to you when I do this. 5-hour energy drink. So if you haven't tried them yet, I assure you, these work. You will be awake for at least 3 hours, if not more. Let's see. Bear with me, I have to look for this. Exodus 32:22. Oh, Exodus 32. Okay. 32. Okay, I'm lost. Please don't give me just. I gotta look to see what's on here again. I prefer not to be confused. Oh, are you talking about my version? Oh yes. Uh, what is QJV? Oh, I see what you're saying. So you didn't tell me to read that. You were just mentioning something. So I don't see any poems here listed. I'm gonna read another one poems here real quick. I thought that he was asking me to read a poem. I got confused, which is not hard to do since I have a lesion in my head because of my schizophrenia. Let's see. And yes, I did do it. And would you believe? I'll pop this calf. No, I would not believe. No, I do not. That's from A Few Good Men. Um, this next one I wrote is called Real Poets Wear Pink. Hello, in honor of all the women on this site, I'm asking all of my followers to please put a pretty pink heart beside their name to stand in unity against harassment and demeaning of all women around the world. Thank you all so much for being for the dignity of women. Please tag all of your own followers to do the same. Let's get the whole entire site behind us. I love you all. Always believe. Now, since you are here, those who are live and those who are watching the replay, I stress to you, please take the very simple, meniable task to go to your handle and put a pink heart by your name on Poetizer. It symbolizes that you are against harassment and the demeaning of women on this site because it's been happening a lot. All the time, I get DM from females to say, this guy did this guy did that to me, and I feel for them. So I'm taking a step to say, hey, look, we are all standing in solidarity. So go to your handle when you're done being here, if you're live or if you're watching the rewind, and put a pink heart by your name or any color heart, but just put a heart by your name to symbolize that you stand in solidarity against the harassment of women. If you don't want to do it, that's your choice. But it kind of looks like you're kind of slighting, the purpose of us doing this um, in unity, which is what I'm about. I do everything unified. So thank you for allowing me to give me a little bit of grief on that, because I've noticed that I've asked people to do that and then they just refuse to do it, and there's no reason for it. Anyway, let's go to the next poem here. Five fingers. Five fingers. That goes back to Red Dead Redemption Part 1 and 2. It's a video game. If you haven't played it, I got to ask you the question: what are you waiting for? You must not have an Xbox or any video game system, because it's not just Xbox. Five Fingers by David T. Hallen. Let's look that up. Yeah, the heart thing really bothered me, because people always telling me, "Oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. I want to do that." It's like, stand in unity. Be in solidarity. All right. Five Fingers by David T. Hallen. This is a poem about five fingers. The quips I make may well be humdingers. If a sour taste they give off lingers, at, at least I didn't try to be one of the singers. I know not how this rhyme will thus end. Well, I know. But truly, I tell you this, my friend, that some have fingers while others have toes. Some have gladness, yet others have woes. But to see and appreciate the glories of life, thou must indeed experience strife. And now I bid you to sing without me, for as I mentioned before, that my carrying a tune, yes, I do decree, would most likely cut you to your very core. This be the song that I propose unto you. Five fingers are crucial to find a new view. You may ask what I mean, and I mean to explain that five is needed to make my point plain. To wit, and to know, yes, even to flow. Here is the answer I intended to show. Five fingers must you count and abide the reasons you all stay here on my side. One is the Lord, our God, and our dad. Don't you agree that rhyming ain't bad? Two is the clue for seeking anew. With eyes open wide, you'll see this is true. Three yet comes next, and really it's easy that your lungs remain pure, lest they always be wheezy. So on to number, yes, four, and some more. We all have a challenge to let our hearts pour. Now, five is the last of this numbering game. God loves us indeed, of course, all the same, by Damian T. Hallen. It's a good poem. There is an episode of Tales from the Crypt. If you never heard of Tales from the Crypt, it's because you was born after 2000 and you came too late to enjoy good television. But if you have, great. There's an episode called Cutting Cards that features Lance Hendrickson, guy who was in the movie called The Terminator. If you haven't heard of The Terminator, again, you was born after 2000, and I apologize. But it's called Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what happens, not to ruin the episode, but they start cutting portions of their body off, and it's just a very gruesome thing. You have to see it. It's called Counting Cards from Tales from the Crypt. I suggest that you watch it if you like that kind of thing. Me and David T. Holland obviously did, and we enjoyed watching that episode. And that might not be the inspiration that he got for the Five Fingers, but I'm sure that it certainly helped. So, Five Fingers. Erin Marie, Racing Heart. Sick, Damien. Sick. Racing Heart. Near as sick as my poem of that, which was called Five Fingers Filleted, which mine were cooked. His were raw. Racing Heart. But that's a time for another story. A never ending story. Let's see. Okay, let's do an author check. By the way, if there's something wrong with the audio or visual, let me know and I'll try to get that correct. Did I see this wrong? I thought Aaron asked me for this. Racing heart. Here, Aaron asked me for this. Racing heart. Uh, let's try this again. Sorry, guys. Racing heart. Okay, I'm missing something here. Oh, okay. Okay, I would love to read it for you, Aaron, but I'm not seeing the poem on here, unfortunately. So if you just updated something, it's taking time for the system to catch up. So I can't read that, unfortunately. Maybe later. I'm sorry. Uh, Ashley, melancholy. Okay, make sure I get this right. Okay, this is called Melancholy by Cracks Filled with Gold. Veins drove blood to my heart, but melancholy clogged my arteries. And now the blood cannot depart, and I feel a bit disheartened. Losing consciousness, I'm getting no oxygen. Too many memories in these walls of my heart and my soul, suffocating on my sorrows, drowning in my woes. Melancholy echoes, a vibrating shock to my core. My heart bursts open and blood rushes through my pores, leaving my body blistered and broken by cracks filled with gold. Yes, surprisingly enough, I sometimes go through this myself. This is an amazing poem, very well written. That's what I had responded when I read that, and it is very well written. Um, okay, okay. Metamorphic Goddess. Oh, that's your new handle? Okay, Metamorphic Goddess. Let's try to see if we can get this here. Metamorphic. Okay, change my handle to Metamorphic Goddess. Okay, now I'm getting it. Uh, Metamorphic Goddess. Yeah, that's very important. There we go. Got it. Okay. Sorry for the pause. This is by Aaron, or I'll just call it now Metamorphic Goddess. By the way, I love that name. Awesome. Racing heart. I breathe you in deep inside. It feels so good. That slow, sharp sting, racing heart. You encumbered my brain and sent my whole world spinning. Now, I realize you reside where it was empty. That's Metamorphic Goddess. I don't know how you came up with that name, but I really love that name. It's one of my favorites. Um, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, by cracks filled with gold. Let's get that one here. Okay, Rapunzel, Rapunzel. By the way, if you have a poem from another poet that you want read live in their absence, you can put them in here, but make sure you let me know that it's their poem so I can be sure that um, in case I can't find a title, I can find a poet's name. Rapunzel, Rapunzel by cracks filled with gold. Locked in a tower high above the mountain tops was a fair young maiden with a head full of flowing locks. With only a window, no door nor stairs, the only way inside was to climb up her hair. Each prince that came, each prince that tried, only fell victim to her soul sucking eyes. While put in a trance, they just thought they were asleep, but the young princess was getting ready to feast. She was locked in a tower with no food in sight, so they just became her meal of the night. You know what, Cracks? Ashley, I first read that and I lost it. I was at work and I laughed hard. And I had customers coming asking for their cards and I couldn't help them. I couldn't stop laughing because that was just hilarious. She ate those people. Okay, that's funny. Um, yes, that's hilarious. I made quite a comment on there when I read it. I had to go to the bathroom. I laughed so hard that night. Um, let's see, something else here. One of my poems. I became an avid follower of your poems after that. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I don't care what you write after that. It's going to be great. Uh, this one is called The Scarecrow, Tin Man, or Lion. Something that I wrote. What am I? Am I the timid, shy scarecrow? Always reserved, afraid to let my feelings show? Never choosing a path on his journey to go? Willing to travel wherever the wind will blow? What about the old hardened tin man? Is it possible I've sacrificed to become a stone man? So tough as to almost appear as inhuman, like barren wasteland as the world had begun? Or how about the mighty cowardly lion? Perhaps I'm shy because I'm afraid to be brave. What little I have to hold on to and just save, because cowardice doesn't allow a fresh repave. Maybe though I'm actually all three: the scarecrow, the tin man, and the lion truly. I have no desire, fire keeps me cold, you see, so bravado lives here not within me. That was by me. Let's see what we got here. Any more poems? Not yet. If you want some poems read, please put them in the comment section, and I will read some poems for you. I want to go back to Ashley here because the Rapunzel really made me laugh, and I got to see what else I can read here to elicit a chuckle. It's not the only one that you wrote. I think you wrote one about a vampire or something. Somebody went up to some castle or something, and she bled them or something. I don't know. It was unusual. Uh, okay, this is one from Cracks Filled with Gold. Colors fades, darkness invades. My page is once stained with the colors of my soul, catastrophic rainbow hues poured from these bones. Words and colors swirled with every vision that I had, going blind, tainted frames, see the world in shades of black. This colorless canvas creates a clouded mind, see a stranger behind sad eyes, imitations of a mind. Feeling trapped in a box, no desire to escape, drowning in toxic notions as the darkness invades. Penetrating my body with force, devouring my soul, I don't resist. And now I paint these pages with the remnants of satanic ink, cracks filled with gold. Marvelous. I love the darkness. I don't get to write about the darkness anymore, but I love it. Uh, every hero has a villain by spewing swords and fifth day. Every hero has a villain. Okay. Spewing words and fifth day. By the way, if you don't know spewing words, What's wrong with you? Follow spewing words. Now, I don't do prompts. I'm a rebel. But those who do will know who spewing words is. And Fifth Day is a poet of legend. That again. I got the memory of an elephant, which means I don't have a memory. My name is, I don't know. Every hero has a villain. Oh, there it is. This is a collaboration with Spewing Words and Fifth Day. Every hero has a villain. Dark like the night sky is my soul. Could never play the hero role, stealing hearts, leaving trails of scattered parts. Saving myself from hurt, I play around and flirt. Cursing you for all eternity, you'll bleed internally. Darkness, I don't mind, it's the lightness that blinds. Keep your curses, I've emerged with so much purpose. I know you've heard this. I'm being courteous. You ain't burning me, you ain't hurting me, step off. Let my journey be, you can't part with darkness. That's you, you're heartless. Craving carnage, you want to see love demolished, dwelling in broken promises. You'll meet your match. One day they'll find you, karma's a bitch. I can't wait for it to bite you. Bite me? Sounds more like a plea. Falling from me was your fee. I'll set you free. I'll leave you with scattered debris. Forever picking up your broken pieces. Pain increases, your soul decreases. I'm imprinted in your veins. Got you locked in chains. I hold the key. I know you agree. Broke through your armor. Hi. You already met me. I'm karma. Loving you was a gamble. You left me in shambles. Gave me more than I could handle. I was trampled and dismantled, buried alive. You walked with the you walked by with the candle, sharing your darkest breath. Soon, as I said I love you, I was marked for death. I'm going to flip the switch. I hit the fence. Gears quickly shift. You denied hope in. You can't break what's already broken. I was ruined before you blew in. You're the words coming off my blue pen. I'm over you. You're hanging off loose ends. Sprite and Grey Goose mixed in. Don't trip. I have another chip by the weekend. Had the upper hand, but lost my hold. So here I'll fold. Brought the devil to her knees. Got her in chokehold. Seized. You put out her fire. A hitman for hire lost her desire. Of course, the hero would win. Here's the nails, hammers them in. Make her feel the pain of love that was once real. Her heart was always cold. Here's another story that will go untold. You stepped into the unknown, bitterness and hatred. You got to let go. My arms are wide open. Baby, come home. Spewing words and Fifth Day collaboration. Very nicely done. Definitely love and respect to compare and contrast in his poem. You two work great as a collaboration. Let's see. You, whenever it shows up. Okay. Here it is. This is You by Erin Marie or Metamorphic Goddess. I would rather you come at me with 1,000 knives. Throw your fists into my face. I would rather you unleash your beastly rage upon my body than to sever my soul with your injurious words. I am but a rotted peach, molding, sour, and distasteful in your eyes, a failure to your idea of satisfaction. I was never what you wanted, never shall I be. I see words that trip like strong daggers from your lips. Are your forte, what you live for, I avow. Somnambulistic, subhuman, nothingness. I capriciously depressed to my knees. The suffer you alone have given reason is to no avail. My greatest loathing, your detrimental words, lacerate the tiny, congruent threads of the tapestries within my heart. Your bitter coldness tears at my aching lungs. I find it arduous to even breathe. And a time may come, perhaps, I may escape the tribulation you bestow upon me. Eventually, you may find yourself non existent in time, but these bitter wounds will fill with salt with every haunting memory of your mistreatment of me. I shall cry out with the tortured souls of hell, yearning to escape the pain, longing for even death. Yet, knowing my anguish is an element of my whole, it is a commodity which is embraced and nurtured at the hand of my own sweet, innocent child inside. That's Erin Marie Miller, or Metamorphic Goddess. That is direct, pointed, visually stunning, vivid. I likes a lot. uh, Hello, Just T Baby. Make sure once you enter, we only got 26 minutes left. Please put your palms down here so I can read them for you. You're very welcome. Singer of My Soul by Som Nimi. Thanks again for everybody joining me live. Those who will be watching this on the replay, thanks again. Please, guys, got to tell you, please put the little heart by your name to stand in solidarity against the mistreatment of women all around the world, especially on the site. Take the time, takes 10 seconds to put a heart by your name out of respect for women. I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. This is Singer of My Soul by Som Nimi. By the way, if you don't know Som Nimi, I don't know why. It's a great poet, fantastic poet, good heart. Like, follow, and comment. Singer of my soul. I found a treasure within a treasure. I heard a singing voice shaking my hold. Truthful melodies made from your core, tuning my life to a meaningful world. I felt your kiss and your twisted strings, reviving my breathless heart with your singing lips. I'm puzzled. In admiration how your fingers vibrates the chords. I'm dazzled by your true smile from minor to major. You sway my soul. Dear singer, close your eyes when singing, your emotions out. Picture my face, I'm closing my eyes, feeling your song as truly mine when your sleepless time blows away and the world collapses at once. We'll be captive in that cell, but held together, it's paradise. By Som Nimi. Great poet, by the way. Like, comment, and follow is my advice to you. Borrowed by Just T Baby. Let's see what we got here. Thanks again, once again, for everybody being here. I'm doing this for you, solely for you. I get nothing out of this whatsoever. I don't even get paid from YouTube. I get paid from Poetizer. Poetizer could care less about what I'm doing. For those of you who know the story behind me in Poetizer, you know why I can't stand Poetizer. But I love the people, so I endure. Borrowed. Borrowed doesn't work. There's too many. That's why it don't work. Okay, borrowed. Is borrowed a new poem or an old poem? Just T baby. Because I can't look up the title. The title is too popular, so I can't find it. So I'm gonna go through now and try to find your poem for you. See what we got here. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I have to skip that. Sorry. Erin Marie the Fray. Okay, blessed be. Okay, if I can't find it by a title, I'm gonna have to skip it because I'm running out of time here. And I got several other poets. Uh, yeah, blessed be. It's not here. Blessed be is not here at all, actually. Okay, let's go back up here. The Fray by Aaron. Let you know if I can't find your poem, it's not because it's on purpose. It's just because one, Poetizer only works a specific way, and two, it's because uh, sometimes it just doesn't pop up. Um, not because of anything that I'm doing. It's just the way that the system is working. All right, the Fray by Metamorphic Goddess. I find myself at the edge of the fray. No one really knew I was going that way. It's been too long without words in my mind, so I'm gonna fight till I find some decay. I talk to myself because I can't forget what goes through my mind behind a cigarette. Messages waiting there for me to find are soaking by the fluid and stained by the wet. Each single one has a story to tell. I toss and I turn, for I can't see them well. Taking my time makes me leave them alone. In my mind, where boxes are starting to swell. The stains of my verse stop time as I write, and one hears my heart as I put up the fight. There's no giving in. This is all I have known to free what I live for and make it all right. By Metamorphic Goddess. Let me see if I can find um, borrow on the app here. Try to understand, guys, when you have something very common, like one word, um, there's 1,000 of them, so I'm having to struggle to find them out of the many thousand. And then it doesn't show up. Like I'm looking on the app and it's not here. So if it's not here, I'm sorry, guys, I can't read what I can't find. So I have to come up with another title until we get one that's there. Um, Unseen by Noble Silva. Noble Silva, by the way, is a great author. If you don't know him, like, follow, and comment. This is Unseen by Noble Silva. I am a mirror, a silent witness to all, reflecting back the world with a clear, unbiased eye. I am not cruel, nor am I kind, just a surface waiting for something to shine. I hang on the wall, a fixture in the room, reflecting back the world in all its brightness and gloom. I see it all, the laughter and the tears, the beauty and the pain that no one else hears. I am the unseen, the one who's always there, watching as the world spins and twirls without a care. I am not a part of it, just an observer on the side, reflecting back the world with a cool, detached pride. But sometimes someone comes and they look into my face, searching for something that they cannot find in this place. They see themselves and all the pain that they carry, and I reflect it back, the sorrow and the worry. I am important to them, a witness to their pain, and they come back again and again, searching in vain. They want to see something else, something more, but I am just a mirror, reflecting back what's in store. I am the unseen, the one who watches and waits, reflecting back the world with all its love and hates. I am not cruel, nor am I kind, just a mirror waiting for something to shine. This is again by Noble Silva. If you don't know him, get to know Noble. He's a very nice guy. He has his own Discord. I have not been there myself. I'm too busy with my own group, but I'm sure it's a nice group. He's a nice guy. Uh, Follow him, please. Hello, Eli, Sea Urchin. Nice to see you. I have a collaboration that I just did with Sea Urchin. We'll get that up here real quick. Thanks again, everybody, being here. I think I read this one already. Yeah. Sea Urchin, Eli, I already read your collaboration with me. I laughed and I enjoyed it. All right. I don't see any more poems in here, guys. So put your poems on here so I can read you. No dry spells. This is by me called The Roller Coaster, guys. Ups and downs all around. Roller coasting is not as fun as they make it sound. Dizzying, fainting, vomiting, wheezing. Yes, it's exciting when first starting, but one misstep and off the cliff. Let me just be on a smooth, quiet ocean, all alone, ever alone. That's a peaceful notion. Yes, it always ends in dire tragedy, it's true. But that roller coaster, too, also ends up in the blue. Good advice to you. We had a poem over here. Uh, Aaron, hi. Don't forget, there's 2 more sessions that's going to be here. One 3 to 5, one 8 to 10. If you didn't get the poems that you read this time because of an error or something, feel free to come back 3 to 5, 8 to 10. 4 more hours to go to read each and every one of your poems that you want read. Happy to do so. I'm just your friendly poet. This is by Erin Marie called Hi. The essence of you, your sultry voice as you speak your truths, each color of your smile, and the way my heart beats. When you say my name, it's an addiction deep down in my soul. I don't know how to let you go. My life is empty, so monotonous without you there to make me laugh, smile, to intrigue me. A kiss from your gentle lips sends tingles down my spine, and I feel so alive. It's a poison I drink often, poison that won't loosen its grip on me. I drown within your amazing hazel eyes, and I sink to the bottom. I don't want to let you go. Stay and keep me high on you forever. Aaron Marie Miller. Uh, Ashley Gunn. Fragile. Okay, put your author name in here. That's too popular. And I'll remind you guys to, and thank you, Cracks for putting those hearts there. It's important. Stand in solidarity against the mistreatment of women, harassment, and the like. Let's try to treat women with, not try to, but treat women with respect. Uh, Women are phenomenal. Mother is a name for God among the lips and hearts of children around the world. That's not mine, that's from the Crow. Good advice. Without women, our species comes to a screeching halt and we all perish. Women need to be treated with the utmost respect and regard without fail. Fragile by cracks filled with gold. This glass heart shatter it and watch me fall apart. Watch me bleed, surviving on broken shards, tearing my flesh. Ruby rivers flow from within, puddles of loneliness seeping from my skin. Cracks filled with gold. Phenomenal. I read that and I almost cried. It's a great poem. Uh, you guys, I'm doing great. um, some of you guys, I don't know what your names are. I know, of course, Sea Urchin, the All Around Podcast. What is that? I don't know who you are, but uh I'm doing fine. I be well. Answer your question. Um, oh, let me read it again, huh? I'll read that same one again. Yes. Cracks would go fragile. This glass heart, shatter it and watch me fall apart. Watch me bleed, surviving on broken shards, tearing my flesh. Ruby rivers flow from within, puddles of loneliness seeping from my skin. It's brilliant. A Tool song. Tool song. Okay. Secret. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. You guys showing up here gives me a reason to come here. If nobody came, I'd be like, well, what am I doing this for? So, Tool. Might not be able to find Tool song because it's not underneath your name. No. Oh, okay. Mary Jane. All right. You know, sea urchin. You know we're friends and everything, right? I'm gonna get you back for that. So be prepared. Mary Jane sitting there laughing at me. This is live, by the way. I got people in Gambia and New Guinea who are gonna be watching me looking like an idiot looking for a poem that doesn't exist. So whiteboard looking for a poem that doesn't exist. Let's see. Mary Jane. Cracks filled with gold, Mary Jane. Your sweet embers glow, illuminating a sunken face. The invigorating sting on each inhale, piercing satisfaction. The warmth of your embrace, comfort to a weary soul. We got enough time for a couple more poems. Oh, Eli, you got it coming to you. Uh, um, Anybody have any questions? Just to let you know, again, put that heart, either a pink or whatever color heart by your name in the on your handle, on your Poetizer handle. Okay, stand in solidarity against the mistreatment of women. Um, just takes a few seconds. Please do that. If nothing else for me, you guys know that I treat you really good. I follow you. I like and I make comments. So I'm asking you to do this in solidarity to let people know that we don't take kindly to the mistreatment of women. Okay. Um, Again, I thank you all for being here. And I love you all very much. A lot of you I talk to on a personal level in my DM. So you know that I care about you. I pray for you. I try to comfort you. So um, if you want to come back at 3 o'clock or a little bit before, I will start the other podcast. There's also one at 8 o'clock. Happy Good Friday to you, by the way. This is a holiday. This is a day that the world claims that Christ died on. Of course, there's a story with that, but I don't need to tell you that. And Easter is coming up on Sunday. So let you all know that I hope that you have a very nice Easter, the celebration of the resurrection of the Savior of humanity. His name is Jesus Christ. If you don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know. Civilized society knows who Jesus Christ is. So have a good Easter. Bunny, 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 hoppity, hoppity, and just enjoy yourselves. And I'm gonna let you all go, and I'll see you back here at about 3 o'clock, if not before, and we will continue this excursion. And anybody who has went to my Gmail, I will check, and I will do a raffle drawing. I will get back to the winner if there is a winner, and you will get $20 to your Cash App. So you'll have to have a Cash App tag to collect your $20. If not, well, you forfeit your prize. So once again, thank you for being here. God bless you, and you all have a good day. And I will see you back here at 3 o'clock. Thanks again.